left defense, it's Madeline Wethington. Right defense, it's Grace Ostertag. Center, it's Taylor Heisey. Left wing, number 12, Grace Zumwinkle. And goalie is Skylar Vetter.
Yeah, and for the Badgers here, we have Britta Curl starting on that left side with Jess Comfer in the middle and Sophie Shirley on the right. Nicole Amantia and Natalie Buckbinder out there as well.
It's already a lot of pressure on the Badgers from Minnesota here. Good press here. Grace Zumwinkle with the puck. Passes it over to Skaya. Goes a little bit out of the way of Heisey. Now Curl's going to take this puck up for the Badgers. Curl passes it up into the zone of Minnesota. There's going to be a line change here. So on comes Caroline Harvey, the freshman standout from Salem, New Hampshire, working against Abby Murphy from Illinois. A bit of a battle for the puck here on the boards. Puck is now taken by Boreen, one of the captains from Minnesota. Chasing this puck right now for Minnesota is Emily Oden, but it's taken by Maddie Wheeler from Wisconsin. An opportunity there for Maddie Wheeler, but couldn't get on it. Now Abby Murphy's trying to take this out of the way, and a big check made there by Casey O'Brien for Wisconsin. Taylor Heisey going to take this face-off against Jessie Comfer for the Badgers in the Badgers zone. Skaya now with the puck for Minnesota. Passes it out to Heisey, who passes it back to Skaya, but she loses the puck. And a great clear there by Natalie Bookbinder of the Badgers. Coming on for the Badgers right now is Lacey Eden. Hengler passes it to Bouvang. Heisey loses that puck in front of the net. Good opportunity there, just couldn't get the most of it. And now a good clear is made there by Nicole Lamontia. So the Badgers' defenses have just been so good clearing this puck so far. Hengler facing a bit of pressure against Maddie Wheeler. Able to get it out, though. Taylor Heisey. Pass to Boreen. Abigail Boreen chasing that puck. Pressure on her from Caroline Harvey on the boards right now. Passes it to Norden, but Norden loses that puck at the blue line. They got to go back into the territory in order to prevent an offsides here. Norden. Murphy puts a shot up, but it goes left of the net. Wethington now facing some pressure there from Comfer. Pass over, very fast-paced game right now. Murphy passes it to Norden. Norden, and a great save made there by Cronish. Two great saves made by Cami Cronish there, preventing that power play goal. What an effort.
She looks calm and cool in there. She was ready for that the whole way. It was nice to see.
Murphy gets back from Minnesota to field that puck. Abigail Boreen now taking that puck up the left boards, being trailed by a bunch of Badgers. Among them, Sophie Shirley and Lacey Eden, but a good break now. Lacey Eden comes to a stop, sends a long shot in, but Skylar Vetter is able to get her mid on it, and what a prevention there by Cami Cronish. And it's going to be Kaiser for Minnesota. Hayden Hemp taking that up for Minnesota into Wisconsin's zone. Bouvang chasing the puck. Bouvang now with the shot on goal, but it ricochets off of Cronish's leg pads. Vivian Jungles for the Badgers now. Passes it up to Casey O'Brien, who's out of the penalty box now. Hengler now with the puck for Minnesota. Passes it to Hemp, but a lot of pressure from Lacey Eden. Caroline Harvey passes it over to Shayla Edwards back in Wisconsin's zone. Coming up slowly is Shayla Edwards being trailed by some Minnesota players. Shoots a pass around the net to Caroline Harvey, who passes it to Casey O'Brien. Lacey Eden's able to maintain control of that puck. Caroline Harvey by the blue line now. Pass up, and it's a very, very close play there for the Badgers. Skylar Vetter lost her footing. Scary moment there for Minnesota, but now Wethington takes that puck up. Shot ricochets off of Cronish. Casey O'Brien passes to Lacey Eden, who passes it back to O'Brien, but Minnesota's able to retain possession right now in the Wisconsin zone. As there's a small chip shot there attempted by Minnesota. Ostertag tries to shoot for Minnesota, ricochets off of Cronish. Wethington for Minnesota fighting for the puck right now with Lacey Eden of Wisconsin. As there's a shot, but it ricochets off of Minnesota. It's a shot by Emma Connor.
We've crossed this 5-minute mark into the game. You've seen a lot of missed passes and missed opportunities. Minnesota did have that power play, but it didn't seem like they had much sustained control. And so I think we can see both teams settle in a little bit. Each team has had a shift now, or each line has had a shift now.
Absolutely. Really good play there by Britta Curl to retain that possession. Passed in Minnesota's zone, but they couldn't really keep it for long. Taylor Heisey sends that puck very far into Wisconsin's zone. Grace Zumwinkle trying to get that puck. Heisey now. Heisey sends a pass up, intended for Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle now passes it back to Skaya, who passes to Zumwinkle, and Zumwinkle with a shot, and a great save made by Cami Kronish. Katie Skaya takes that puck for Minnesota. Nearly a one-timer there for Grace Zumwinkle. A shot goes off of the leg of Wozniewicz. Zumwinkle passes that puck over, loses the puck. That is Heisey who lost it. As there's a bit of a skirmish here for the puck right now, and Grace Zumwinkle with a near shot there, but that goes just left of the net.
Some good sustained pressure here by Minnesota. This top line's really taking it to them right now.
Caroline Hivery with the puck now. Intended for Shayla Edwards, but it's just out of reach for her. As she sends it up back into Minnesota's zone. Without a doubt, absolutely. So Heisey wins that face-up for Minnesota. Now Emily Oden sends a long pass up for Huber, but just out of reach, and Bookbinder for the Badgers is able to send it right back into Minnesota's zone. Great play there by Kirsten Sims. And that's going to be called for an offsides. Unfortunate for the Badgers.
These top three lines that they have here, they're all different and they're all creative in their own ways.
LaMontillo with the puck now, sends it up, intended for Eden, but just out of reach, as that's going to be an icing.
There.
So two great coaches facing off against each other today at LeBon. Here's a good connection right now for Wisconsin as Lacey Eden's trying to get that back to Kirsten Sims, but just couldn't make the most of it. Hengler sending that pass up, intended for Hemp, but Lacey Eden intercepts it. A bit of a skirmish on the half line. Bookbinder now sends a pass up into the zone. The Ostertag is able to field it. Here come the Golden Gophers. Great defensive play there by Katie Kutlowski, able to get her stick on that puck and prevent that shot. Vivian Jungles, not the shot! And it's a goal made by Vivian Jungles. The freshman from Edina, Minnesota, puts the Badgers up 1-0 so far with 11:48 left in the first period. So let's see if the Badgers can continue to ride this wave or if Minnesota can answer back.
Man, that's got to feel good. Freshman scoring in her first game against Minnesota.
Heisey and Zumwinkle working as a tandem here. There's a good defensive play made there by Maddie Wheeler to break that up. That could have been scary for the Badgers. Oh, that was a great save. Phenomenal save there by Cami Kronish. It is Madison Kaiser facing off. Wisconsin wins that face-off. Britta Curl now passing it up. Oh, and here's a break for Sophie Shirley. Pass back, intended one-timer, but Jessie Comfort could not get on that. Britta Curl goes to the ice now. Jessie Comfort passes it back to Caroline Harvey. Caroline Harvey sends A shot in, but it ricochets off. Back to Harvey at the blue line. Back to Shayla Edwards.
Some great back and forth action between these two top lines between Minnesota and Wisconsin. You see sustained pressure on both sides, and I think this Wisconsin top line has woken up the last 2 or 3 minutes.
And a connection was not able to be made there. Britta Curl sends that just over the stick of Casey O'Brien. So Wisconsin trying to continue to ride this wave. But Emma Connor for Minnesota with a great takeaway. A shot sails just left of the net. Chasing it right now is Lizzie Norden and Maddie Wheeler. Casey O'Brien passes it back to Katie Kotlowski. Pass intended for Wozniewicz, but she could not get her stick on that. Kotlowski intercepts that clear right there. Hengler now for Minnesota. Passes it up to Norcross. That puck sails around the net. Kotlowski now. Passes it up, but Ostertag gets her stick on it. And a great play there by Layla Edwards. Kirsten Sims with a bit of a break, but just could not capitalize on that one. She had too many Minnesota players around her, went to her knees there accidentally. A bit of a scrum around that front of the net. Abby Murphy now taking this puck up, showing her speed. Murphy from Evergreen Park, Illinois. So Murphy at the blue line right now. But goes to her feet, falls off her feet. LaMontia now passes it over to Layla Edwards. Edwards with a shot, but it ricochets off of Vetter. Murphy now passes it to Boreen. Abigail Boreen loses that puck, and a big collision there between Curl and Boreen. So an opportunity there for Minnesota. Ends in a big check. Kaiser loses that puck for Minnesota. It's Bouveng now chasing Shirley, but Sophie Shirley's able to get on it. Comfort tries to send that puck into Minnesota's zone, but couldn't really work on that one. As there's a good defensive play made there by Britta Curl to prevent Kaiser from making a shot there. Jessie Comfort now with a shot on goal, and it is made. So a bit of a miscommunication there from Minnesota as a Minnesota player. I believe that Zumwinkle is arguing with the referee, but a great heads-up play there by Jessie Comfer, who has been a highlight of the Badgers this year, a fifth-year senior from Northbrook, Illinois, with a spectacular goal.
I can't see what they're calling, but I think they overturned it. We're going back into the offensive zone for the Wisconsin Badgers.
I believe they did. So they did overturn that. Absolutely. Taylor Heisey and Jessie Comfort with that face-off. Caroline Harvey sends that around to Sophie Shirley. Shirley passes it to Harvey, who passes it over to Edwards. Edwards sends that puck up back into the boards. Britta Curl fields it. Edwards not able to keep that in the zone. Harvey now facing a lot of pressure from Minnesota. Sophie Shirley coming up with that puck. Pass to Comfort. Comfort with a shot in, and it ricochets off of Vetter, so Vetter saves that one. Grace Zumwinkle bringing that puck up for Minnesota into the Badger zone, but Caroline Harvey fields it for the Badgers. Britta Curl sends it to Shayla Edwards. Edwards sends it up to Comfort, but losing that puck off of some pressure from Wethington and Connor. As the puck soars into Minnesota's zone, we have a bit of a line change here for the Badgers. Here comes Maddie Wheeler. And losing that puck is LaMontia, and that is a costly error. That was very lucky that that didn't end up worse for the Badgers there. Wethington passes it to Ostertag. Sends that puck up into Wisconsin's zone, and so Bookbinder's going to have to field that one against Savannah Norcross. Connor now sends that across to Wethington. Wethington trying to send that towards the net, but Wozniewicz blocks that one off with her leg. Ostertag fields that, sends it behind the net, but Bookbinder gets it for the Badgers. Wozniewicz sends that puck over, intended for Casey O'Brien, but it ricochets off. Now Wethington trying to keep that puck in Wisconsin's zone while Minnesota makes a line change here. Lacey Eden with some great stick work there. Sends a pass over to Layla Edwards, but they can't keep possession, or they do off of a great ricochet. Lacey Eden with an opportunity there. Eden with the shot. Ricochets off of Vetter. Sims now fields that puck for the Badgers. Passes it over to Layla Edwards, to Jungles, who scored that goal earlier in the first period. Jungles keeping that in the zone. Sending that puck over to Kutlowski. So a bit of a skirmish for the puck here. Lacey Eden ends up with it. Passes it over to Kirsten Sims. Sims sends that puck around the net on the boards, but Abby Murphy is able to field that. Kutlowski face-off is won by the Badgers. LaMontia passes it up to Eden. Passes it back to Curl, to LaMontia, to O'Brien. O'Brien with a shot in. And a great save there from Skylar Vetter. What a play. Heisey goes to the ground on that one, but Minnesota is able to win that faceoff. As a great play is made by Ostertag to send that puck into Wisconsin's zone. So far on the season, Wisconsin has been 7 for 43 on power plays, 16.3%. That's 6th in the WCHA, able to capitalize on a lot of those.
That's not a great statistic that we want to see for the Badgers. I know Coach likes to keep that power play up around 24, 25%.
And Minnesota, their penalty killing this season, they've been 75.8%, 8th in the WCHA.
That's interesting. I would have guessed that they would have been a little higher, seeing as they're a top-ranked team. But I guess if you have a great offense, it's okay if you get scored on a few times on the power play.
You take in between Boreen and Comfer. Wisconsin wins it. O'Brien now with that puck, trying to get it out of their zone at all costs. Comfer working with Bookbinder, but it's taken away by Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle with a shot, but it goes across and ricochets off of Cami Cronish. Bookbinder now keeping that puck, killing some time. But they're on a power play too, so they're trying to figure out an offensive strategy here. Bookbinder passes it up to Harvey. Caroline Harvey, the freshman, showing her speed. Sends it around the net on the boards. Intended for Sophie Shirley, but out of reach. And now Abby Murphy is taking that puck up for the Golden Gophers. Abby Murphy with an opportunity here, and Abby Murphy with the goal.
Looks like Abby Murphy just caught Cami Cronish cheating just a little bit, taking a step towards that other player on the 2-on-1, and I think she snuck that in on her backhand on the short side.
So phenomenal play there by the freshman, or the redshirt sophomore, I'm sorry, from Evergreen Park, Illinois, tying things up here with the Badgers. A shorthanded goal here at LeBon. Going to be Picard and Heisey. Edwards passes it to Harvey. Harvey passes it up to Layla Edwards. Edwards with an attempted shot, but it goes off of Hengler's stick. Harvey passes up to Wozniewicz. Both teams at full strength now. Wozniewicz attempting a shot there, but could not get it through the defenders of Minnesota. Shayla Edwards now with that puck, sending it over to Picard, who sends it into Minnesota's zone, being chased by Lacey Eden and Hengler. Hengler's able to get rid of it. So back into Wisconsin's zone we go. Maddie Wheeler passes it to Bookbinder around the boards. Ends up in the stick of Lacey Eden. Eden trying to get this past Minnesota, past that is Wethington. Heisey, though, retains that puck for Minnesota, sends it into Wisconsin's zone as Nicole LaMontia sends that around the boards for the Badgers. Chasing it is Madeline Wethington in Minnesota's zone, and Maddie Wheeler for Wisconsin. Kaiser and O'Brien and Wheeler fighting for that puck on the board. Sophie Shirley keeps it in Minnesota's zone. And here's Casey O'Brien coming around that net, sending it past in, attempted for Jungles. But now Katie Kutlowski Passes it over, intended for O'Brien, but it goes off the stick of Emily Oden. A great play made there by Minnesota. As Hemp now takes it. Passes it over to Kaiser, but a shot blocked by Kronish, and wide open is Jessie Comfer. And Comfer could not capitalize on that one. A great play made there by Skylar Vetter from Minnesota. You could hear the crowd here at LeBon go absolutely insane for that breakaway. Comfer trying to pass that one over to Layla Edwards, but he gets chipped up into the air by Boreen. Now in Minnesota's zone is Norden, who passes it around to Hengler. But Harvey fields it at the half line. Now Wozniewicz in Minnesota's zone, trying to send that over to her teammates, but it gets blocked by Norden.
After that Abby Murphy goal, you can start to feel the excitement and the energy pick up in this game, and I think it's opened up just a little bit more.
Kirsten Sims now with that puck for the Badgers, sending it back to Caroline Harvey, and a great check is made there, but a shot and a great save there by Skylar Vetter. Layla Edwards had an opportunity there, could not get it in. Heisey going to be facing off against Comfer. And with this 1 minute left in the period, let's see if either team can put up some more points. Heisey passes it up to Skya. Here comes Heisey, passes over to Skya, and Skya with the shot, but it goes right of the net. 1 minute remaining in this period. As Zumwinkle passes it over to Skya, but some good pressure behind the net by LaMontia now. Trying to clear it is Curl. Wethington keeping that in the zone, and there is a long shot, but a save there by Cami Kronish. So keeping this puck in Minnesota's zone is Norden, doing a good job there, or keeping it in Wisconsin's zone, I'm sorry. Wozniewicz clears that puck out. As that puck goes just clear of the net, and an opportunity there. And nearly able to perfectly put that one together, but Harvey with the shot, it goes above the net. Oh my goodness, what a sequence of events there for the Golden Gophers and for Wisconsin. A scary one for Minnesota and a near miracle for Wisconsin. O'Brien now fields that puck. Some pressure on her from Norden. Behind the net. That puck comes loose, and there is going to be no time left in the first period. We're going to have Jessie Comfer here for the Badgers facing off against Taylor Heisey, the way it's pretty much been all game so far. Wisconsin takes that face-off. Nicole LaMontia passing that up, intended for Britta Curl, but just gets around her. Sophie Shirley able to beat Wethington to that puck. LaMontia setting that puck back into the zone, and a big collision there.
Wisconsin needs to capitalize on this right now, but it looks like a missed opportunity there.
Absolutely. It looked like Boreen was scoring up for a shot right there, but a great play made by Nicole LaMontia. Britta Curl sends that one into Minnesota's zone, fielded by Madeline Wethington. That pass is intended for Boreen, but LaMontia gets it. Passes to Wozniewicz. Wozniewicz with a shot, and it is blocked there. A good save there by Skylar Vetter. And O'Brien for Wisconsin. Face-off won by Minnesota. Abby Murphy with the puck, trying to pass that one out of her zone. Boreen now tries to pass it back to Murphy. Wozniewicz intercepts that, falls down, but is able to get that back into Minnesota's zone. A great play made there. Maddie Wheeler now with a shot, a near connection there between Wheeler and O'Brien, but they couldn't make it. Abby Murphy using her speed, going up that left board, loses her footing. As we have a bit of a fight for the puck right now. Oden loses it, and now Maddie Wheeler has an opportunity. Maddie Wheeler with the shot, and it ricochets off of the right leg pad of Skylar Vetter. A great play there. Lacey Eden keeps that one in for Wisconsin. But that's not so lucky there for the Badgers. Lacey Eden now passes it around to Layla Edwards. Edwards passes it across to Sims, but that is saved there by Vetter. A bit of a skirmish for this puck right now between Kaiser and Eden and Murphy and Sims. Eden's going to come out with it, though. Lacey Eden facing a lot of pressure here. Passes it over to Sims, who gets it back to Eden. Sims now passes it over to Jungles, who scored that first goal. That shot gets ricocheted off of Abby Murphy. Layla Edwards fields it. Edwards skating around, shot, and it's made! Layla Edwards with a great play there for Wisconsin. Sends that puck into the top right corner there, and Wisconsin is now up 2-1.
I mean, you can feel it as soon as that second period started. Wisconsin laid on the pressure. They had multiple opportunities to put the puck in the net, and it's nice to see Edwards step in right into the slot and put it right away.
And as we get this face-off here, the leverage seems to be pointing in the way of the Badgers. Confer wins that face-off, but Minnesota gets it right back. Taylor Heisey taking that puck up, being chased by LaMontia. Tries to pass it around. A very good play there by Bookbinder to prevent Katie Skaya from trying to make an attempt on goal there. Confer now passes it over, intended for Curl, but Minnesota able to get rid of that. A very, very scary moment there for Minnesota. And so as that puck is chipped into the fans, absolutely. Face-off won by Minnesota. Norden passes that back into Wisconsin's zone, but LaMontia is able to try to clear that, but a good play made there by Hengler, but Confer is taking it into Minnesota's zone, passes across to Bookbinder. Bookbinder makes a shot, but it ricochets off the stick of Grace Zumwinkle, fielded by Norden for Minnesota. Norden passes that one out now to Heisey. Heisey passes it to Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle coming up that left board. Skating around the net, making an attempt there, poking her head into that net, but Kronish is able to make a stop to it. Bookbinder now passing it around the net again. Maddie Wheeler fielding that. A lot of pressure from Wethington. And Woznovich able to send that into Minnesota's zone. A pretty crazy second period starting off here tonight, Annie.
Yeah, I'm really loving this line out here. 28, 26, and 23. We have Maddie Wheeler, Casey O'Brien, and Woznovich for the Badgers, and they're just all over the ice. All three of them are in every zone on every puck. It's really cool to see.
Wethington sends that shot, but it skies over the net there. Wethington now trying to send that in towards the net, but Edwards is able to break that one up. Emily Zumwinkle chasing that puck back into her zone. Norcross now with a shot, but it goes left of that net, and now Woznovich is going to take that puck for the Badgers, trying to clear it, but Ella Huber gets her stick on it.
And Minnesota's fourth line is actually getting a lot of ice time here tonight. They've been out there for 2 or 3 shifts a period, which is going to give fresh legs to their top line.
Sims passes that one around the boards. Passes it over to Vivian Jungles, who tries to clear that. But they're going to whistle it, and there's going to be another face-off here. So a face-off between Huber and Sims, and they're going to whistle to do that one again. Face-off goes right up to Cami Kronish, who funnels that one off to Vivian Jungles, and here comes Sims. Sims finds a wide-open Lacey Eden on the right side. Fans not happy about a potential no call there, as Withington is able to get that one away to Boreen, to Huber. Huber loses that puck. A phenomenal play made there by the freshman Layla Edwards, and it's 2-on-1 here. Sims shot in, ricochets off. Sims tries again, couldn't get her stick on it. Bookbinder now sends a shot forward, but it just goes just left of the net. What an offensive potential there for the Badgers. Could not capitalize, though. Boreen tries to pass it up, but intercepted by Curl, gets her stick on it. LaMontia now skating around, and they're going to call that an offside. Two-1 right now. We're going to be seeing a face-off here from the Badgers and the Gophers. Taylor Heisey wins that for the Gophers. Grace Zumwinkle taking that up for the Gophers right now into Wisconsin's zone. Heisey. Skating around, trying to get some separation here. Passes it back to Skaya. And a good play made there by Britta Curl, able to ricochet that one off. Bookbinder sends that one up into the air. Comfer, but they're going to call an offsides right there. Minnesota takes that faceoff. Skaya getting a little bit of separation here. Passes it back in for Zumwinkle. Near an opportunity there, but just loses that puck, and a great play made there by Wozniewicz. Wheeler heading up for the Badgers. Pass intended for O'Brien, but just could not get her stick on it. And so an attempt there from the Badgers does not play out. Skating back to get that puck is Shayla Edwards for the Badgers. Sends that one up for O'Brien. O'Brien feeds that one to Eden. Eden not able to get around to that defense of Emily Oden. Now there's some skirmishing on the boards here trying to get that puck. Kirsten Sims now. Eden doing her best to keep that in Minnesota's zone. Wheeler now feeding it back to Eden, but Minnesota finally gets it out of their zone. Here comes Minnesota. Hayden Hemp. And it's a goal. They're going to call that a goal. Hayden Hemp, her second goal of the game so far. Oh my goodness. You couldn't even see that up here from where we are, but that was a goal. It got between Cami Kronish's leg pad and the bar, so that's going to be 2-2 so far on the day.
Yeah, looking back at that one, that was just a great angle by the defenseman to push her outside, and I think Cami was just a little late. 6
goals this season, second goal of the day.
This is kind of how these games go, you know. It's going to come down to who's going to make the least amount of errors. With teams playing this great, you want to try to minimize your errors, and that's the team that's going to come out on top.
Layla Edwards trying to clear that puck. And a very, very big slap shot made there by Hengler, but a good glove save by Cami Kronish. And so we're going to get another face-off in Wisconsin territory, and Minnesota has been ferocious since that goal from Layla Edwards for Wisconsin. Almost nonstop in Wisconsin zone. We'll have another face-off here between Kirsten Sims and Wethington. And so Audrey Wethington wins that one for Minnesota, but Wisconsin immediately gets right back on it. The Edwards sisters passing it back and forth here. Kirsten Sims finding a hole, but doesn't really get it. Emma Connor loses that puck, but it goes right back to Norcross. Norcross for Minnesota. Taking that puck around the net. Trying to find someone to feed that puck to. Feeds it back, intended for Audrey Wethington, but she loses it. Shayla Edwards passes it to Helgeson. Sophie Helgeson passes that one up to Layla Edwards. To Sims. Sims with a long shot, but a save is made. There's been a goalie change. Olivia King is now in between Huber and Comfer. Murphy passes that one back for Boreen. Boreen feeding that one over, intended for Wethington. Cannot get it, and here comes Britta Curl. Here comes the captain. Britta Curl with a long shot, and that sails over the net. So Comfer and Huber facing off here in Minnesota's zone. Pass it back to Bookbinder. To LaMontia. LaMontia with a shot up, but it sails past the net. And that puck goes into Wisconsin zone. Here comes Abby Murphy against Nicole LaMontia. Abby Murphy, who has been everywhere today for Minnesota, using that speed. But here come the Badgers again. Jessie Comfer trying to feed that one up to Sophie Shirley. Just couldn't get her stick on it. Too much pressure from Minnesota. And here comes Taylor Heisey, the captain. Pass it across, a nice spin move, but they couldn't work on that one.
That was a long shift for Sophie Shirley and Britta Curl. They got caught out there a little bit. You know, I would have thought that Minnesota could have capitalized on that 4-on-2 rush.
Taylor Heisey now bringing that puck up. Skating past a few defenders, loses her footing. Shayla Edwards loses that puck. A bit of a skirmish here for the puck overall, shooting back and forth everywhere. Taylor Heisey now trying to get that one towards the net, but ricochets off the skate of Shayla Edwards. Casey O'Brien sends that one up into Minnesota's zone. Norden fields it for Minnesota, sending it right back where it came from into Wisconsin zone, and that'll be an icing. So Kaiser and Sims will face off here. Wisconsin wins that face-off. Lacey Eden passes it to Kutlowski. Kutlowski feeds that forward for Edwards, but could not get it. Kutlowski now sending it right back up. Hengler with that puck for Minnesota. Sends that one around, and here comes the captain. Here comes Grace Zumwinkle. Skating right towards the net. A near connection there with her and Katie Skaya. But a good play by Cami Kronich to prevent that one. Katie Kutlowski now sending that one up towards Kristen Sims. Kristen Sims feeds that to Layla Edwards. Edwards with a shot, and it ricochets off the pad of Vetter. Here come the Golden Gophers. Here comes Kaiser. Trying to send that one past LaMontia, but she says, no way. Here come the Badgers now. Kirsten Sims sending that one up towards the goal. As here's going to be a shift on. Here comes Britta Curl. Intercepting that puck nearly immediately. Jessie Comfort's back on as well. Bouvang sends that one towards the net. LaMontia now with the puck for the Badgers in Wisconsin zone. Passes it to Curl. Curl sends it back to Bookbinder. Bookbinder up to Comfer. Comfer trying to make a path between the two defenders there for Minnesota. Wasnovich sends that right back into the Minnesota zone. Emily Zumwinkle sends it back. And it's sent back into Wisconsin zone now. Norcross chasing that puck, but Shayla Edwards is able to get rid of it. Odin passes it up to Audrey Wethington. Wethington with the shot, but it goes wide left of that net, fielded by Emma Connor. But Wasnovich is able to send it back over to O'Brien, but it goes just right of her stick. Shayla Edwards fields that for Wisconsin, sends it around the boards. And now here comes Casey O'Brien. O'Brien sends that one back, intended for Maddie Wheeler, but they could not connect there. Now Wisconsin has some power here. Let's see what they can do with it. Boreen sends that back into Wisconsin zone, but a good play made there by Shayla Edwards. Lacey Eden passes that one up for O'Brien. As here's a big shift here for Wisconsin. Layla Edwards now behind the net. Passes it across to Harvey. Harvey with a shot up. And a good play there by Skylar Vetter.
Through some stress and hard times, and they just want to show how important it is for them to take mental health seriously.
It's a great gesture from both teams, and they will be having those ribbons when Wisconsin goes to visit Minnesota as well.
You can start to feel the tempers flare up just a little bit, trying to gain an edge on the face-offs. A lot of pushing and shoving going on. I feel like it's only going to escalate from here.
Absolutely. It's a border battle, and they don't call it a battle for nothing. Shirley sent that one intended for Bookbinder, but she could not get her stick on it. Comfort sends it around again. Nicole LaMontia with a long shot forward, but it just goes right of the net. But a good effort there, and now there's a big skirmish right now for that puck. Curl sends it around, intended for LaMontia. But Ostertag gets there first. Ostertag sends that around. And here comes Grace Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle sent that across, intended for her teammate Skaya. But Wisconsin's able to break that one up. Skaya now with that puck, sends it to Zumwinkle, and there is a near connection there, but a good defensive play made by Jessie Comfer. Shayla Edwards now sends that puck up. Let's see if O'Brien can win this faceoff for them. Hemp now with the puck. So back into Wisconsin's defensive zone we go, but now we're making an effort here. Here comes O'Brien, loses that puck. So Bouvang sends that to Hemp. Hemp, who scored both goals today, loses that puck. A collision there between teammates, between O'Brien and Edwards, but they're still able to clear that one. Or at least try to clear it as it stays in the zone. Kaiser does a good job of keeping that in the zone. Hemp now sends that one up the boards to Bouvang, who's beasting from pressure from Shayla Edwards. Bouvang with a shot, but it ricochets off of Edwards' leg. Bouvang sends it, but it goes back into Minnesota's zone as here comes a big shift for the Badgers. On comes Lacey Eden, Kutlowski, and Layla Edwards. Hengler now for Minnesota, trying to push deeper and deeper into Wisconsin territory. And there's a shot by Connor, but it ricochets off the leg pad of Cami Cronish. So a bunch of players falling down there in that corner. Norcross now with the puck for Minnesota. Norcross skating around, trying to find a moment to shoot. She does, but it goes clear, and here comes an opportunity for Wisconsin. Layla Edwards, Lacey Eden chasing that puck, but Hengler's able to get it again. Here comes Anna Connor.
It's been a lot of neutral zone action in the second period, and I think Minnesota's doing a great job of headmanning that puck fast and getting back into the zone before the Badgers can recover from being in the D zone. That long change in the second period makes it tough.
Boreen now using some great stick work there, and a few shots taken there, but some great play there by Cami Cronish. It looked like Murphy got a part of it, but Cami Cronish is able to redirect traffic there, and now Wisconsin gets called for an icing, but a good break there for Wisconsin. So Sims and Huber taking this face-off. Jungles sends that one hard around the boards there. Layla Edwards sends it right back to Lacey Eden. Eden and Sims going into Minnesota's zone. Sims feeds it back to Eden. Eden sends it across, intended for Bookbinder, but she can't keep it in the zone there as Wisconsin's going to have to present an offsides here. Wisconsin loses that puck. Boreen now for Minnesota with that puck.
As good of a job as Minnesota is doing in that neutral zone, I feel like Wisconsin's kind of not winning their battles in between those blue lines, and that's really hurting them here. The transition game isn't great right now.
Confer feeds that to Curl, and a very, very nice shot there, but it ricochets off of Vetter. Now a lot of fighting in this neutral zone, Annie, as that puck gets sent behind Cronish here. Here comes Skaya from Minnesota, but Bookbinder is able to clear that one for the Badgers. Here comes Jesse Confer. Confer skating into Minnesota territory, finding a teammate. Wozniewicz goes to her knees on that shot, but loses it. Norden now sends that puck up, and here comes Heisey. Taylor Heisey sending that puck. It goes just out of the net, and there's a goal. Or are they going to call that one off? Let's take a look here.
Yeah, I don't think the goal judge could see that. I think they're going to have to review that. He was on the backside of Cronish. He could not see where that puck was at all.
So
I'll be interested to see what they decide.
So it looks like they've made up their minds here, coming back out onto the ice, and they're going to rule that one a goal. So a goal there for the captain, Grace Zumwinkle. The 8th goal this season for Grace Zumwinkle, the 5th-year senior from Excelsior, Minnesota. 3 minutes left in the second period now. Britta Curl keeping that one in Minnesota's zone. And the Badgers need to put up an offensive front here to answer back. Heisey waiting behind the net here. Long pass intended for Skaya. Skaya loses her footing, but here comes Zumwinkle, who just scored that goal, sends that shot, but it goes left of that net. Caroline Harvey now fighting with Zumwinkle. Here comes Jessie Confer trying to feed that one up towards Sophie Shirley. Couldn't get to it. Ostertag feeds that one off to Wethington, and now here comes Bouvang. Bouvang with the slap shot, and that one goes off of Cronish's arm and into the upper net, and we'll have a face-off here. That goal from Grace Zumwinkle and that miscue from Cami Cronish. Here comes a shot now from Ostertag, and we're going to have
a high stick there.
Heisey and Confer face off. Confer wins that face off, but that pass intended for Shirley goes out of the way of her. But here comes Confer. Confer sends that puck back into Cronish. And that ricochets off of the bar, and that will be an icing. Encore taking this face off once again against Heisey. And so the puck is open there, but there goes Heisey. And Taylor Heisey with the great play, but here comes Britta Curl taking that puck away, stealing it perfectly. Curl sends that one intended back in for a teammate, but Heisey's able to get her stick on it. So here comes Skaya and Heisey, who have been a great tandem so far today, putting up a lot of pressure on Cami Kronish. Comfer now for Wisconsin, feeds it back to Curl. Curl falls down, but is still able to feed that one back to Comfer. What a play by her. Nope, it's still going to be Huber and O'Brien, the 226s fighting off against each other. Eden sends that one back to Shayla Edwards. Wisconsin really wants an opportunity to score here. 1 minute 23 left in this period. Murphy sends that one up, intended for Boreen, and what a check. Oh my goodness, by Shayla Edwards, and Boreen is down holding her hand. That did not look good at all for Boreen. Against Taylor Heisey, Bookbinder sends that one around the boards. Britta Curl sends that one up into Minnesota territory, but Hengler's able to get there for Minnesota. Hengler waiting behind the net. Here comes Taylor Heisey. Taylor Heisey, the captain, using that speed, getting around Comfer. Heisey with a shot, but it goes north of the net. Heisey now still maintaining possession. Circling back and forth, drifting back and forth, trying to find a teammate. She finds Skaya. Skaya passes it over to Zumwinkle. Back to Skaya, to Heisey. And a good play made there by Bookbinder to get rid of that puck, but here comes Zumwinkle again. Pass to Heisey, to Zumwinkle. And there's a big slap shot there, but it goes north of the net. Heisey now loses her footing there against Britta Curl. Bouvang passes to Zumwinkle, to Hengler. Hengler circling back. Passes it back to Zumwinkle. To Heisey now. Heisey passes to Skaya. Skaya sending a shot in. It goes off the leg pad of Kronish. Badgers doing a solid job right now. Heisey tries to make a shot there. It goes again off the pad of Kronish. And there it is. That's the end of the second period here. 20 minutes left in this matchup, in this border battle. Underway now. Minnesota winning that faceoff. Hengler passes it over to Zumwinkle. To Hengler. To Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle now taking that puck up for Minnesota back into Wisconsin zone. Zumwinkle circling that net. She got that goal earlier in that second period. Hengler now passes it over to Heisey, to Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle with a shot forward and a good save there by Cami Kronish. Hengler sends that one around. And a bit of a skirmish here in front of the net. But Zumwinkle is able to keep that one in Wisconsin territory. Skaya passes it back to Zumwinkle, to Heisey. Heisey fakes the shot there to Skaya, to Heisey. Heisey with a shot, but it goes off of Bookbinder. What a play there by Natalie Bookbinder. Hengler sends that one still into Wisconsin zone as we get a bit of a change here. Here comes Ostertag for Minnesota as that puck is sent into the press box just behind the announcers. Deep in Wisconsin territory here. Wisconsin needs to make a stop to stay competitive. Comfer, good play off the faceoff. Jessie Comfer using her speed here, but a good play by Wethington. LaMontia able to intercept that puck, but it doesn't do much, and they're going to call that an offsides on Minnesota.
Opposite lines, and they've been seeing each other repeatedly throughout this game, and just that built-up frustration and the desperation of seeing the same players and the ferocity that goes back and forth with that. I expect to see the game to get a little bit more chippy as we move into this third period.
Absolutely. Maddie Wheeler sending it back to Caroline Harvey. Harvey now sends that one into Wheeler, but it goes off her skate, and a great play falling to her. Falling down is Abby Murphy, sending that one back into Wisconsin zone as we finally get play underway here. Shirley sends that one up the boards, but a good play made by Ostertag. Trying to keep it in there is O'Brien. A lot of back and forth, a lot of physicality. Here comes Murphy. Murphy with a long shot there. And oh my goodness, what a play by Cami Kronish. Kronish facing two players there, and Huber and Murphy, no one around her, and she's able to just get that puck and prevent it from getting in.
Yeah,
So
that was kind of a mess in front of the net. That was a lucky bounce for the Badgers.
absolutely. So here we go, a chaotic, frenetic start to this period. Odin trying to get that towards the net, but Sims gets it back for the Badgers. Here we go, Layla Edwards chasing that puck up. Can't get her stick on it. Remember, she made that goal earlier in the second period. Wozniewicz now for the Badgers. Falls down, but Edwards circling around, but loses that puck. Great play there by Kaiser for Minnesota. Kaiser now passes it up to Bouvang, to Kaiser, to Hemp. Hemp, who has 2 goals on the day so far. Passes it back to Bouvang, and Bouvang with the shot, but it's a good save there by Cami Kronish. Right into the center of her chest pad. Jungles sends that one around the boards there, and there is Layla Edwards sending that puck up, and here comes Wozniewicz chasing Norden. Edwards now. Edwards, who's been very impressive, the freshman from Cleveland. Sims with that puck, sends it back to Jungles. Jungles, the other goal scorer for Wisconsin today. Bouvang with the puck for Minnesota. Norden, Lizzie Norden, great pass up to Wethington. Wethington with a shot, but it's a glove save there by Cami Kronish. Don't let that score fool you. She's been great. Norcross is able to keep that in Wisconsin territory. Here's a big back and forth here. Losing the puck, and here we go. Lacey Eden losing that puck. Ostertag sends that to Wethington. An opportunity for Wethington now. Some good defense from Natalie Bookbinder here. Sending it backwards. She finds Norcross. Back to Wethington. Wethington whiffs on that pass there. Norcross is able to get it back for Minnesota. Norcross chasing that puck, being chased by Helgeson. Loses it. Connor and Comfer are fighting for it behind the boards. Here comes Norcross again. And here we go, an opening. Jessie Comfer unopposed. And a great save there from Skylar Vetter.
She had that whole net open. She's going to want that one back for sure. She
Absolutely.
had enough time to skate that one right into the net. She just got barely got a stick on that to stop that breakaway.
Here we go, Sophie Shirley, who's been so dominant this season on offense. Lamontia, phenomenal stick maneuver, but a great save made by Skylar Vetter. Face-off kept by Wisconsin. Wisconsin that goes off the board. Sophie Shirley now. Passes back to Shayla Edwards. Edwards to Lamontia. Lamontia with a shot in. It ricochets off of Zumwinkle. And here we go. A bit of a scrum here between Wisconsin and Minnesota players behind the net. Skaya sends that one up, intended for Zumwinkle. And here's Taylor Heisey, who's been so good so far for Minnesota today, but a big whiff there. And now Minnesota's going to have to go back to their own zone to regroup. Zumwinkle now. Sends that one, but it gets chipped off of Kevin Kronish. And oh my goodness, a nearly very bad bounce there. Off of that shot, just comes down straight in front of the net there. Kronish does a good job getting rid of it. Here comes Heisey. Great play there by Caroline Harvey, the freshman. And a glove save, capping off that whole ordeal. And as we go to break here, it's 3-2, Minnesota at LeBon.
They're being smart on their forecheck, and they're moving the puck up quickly. It's hard for Wisconsin to get much offense going.
And a bit of a skirmish there for the puck here. As here we go. Caroline Harvey sends that one up, intended for Wozniewicz, but just behind her. Harvey sends that one back to Jungles. Jungles sends that one up to Edwards. Edwards sends it up, and here comes Kirsten Sims. Sims leaves it for Harvey, and Harvey with a very hard shot, but that goes just north of the net. Harvey has been so good this season on being aggressive and constantly getting in her opponent's zone, getting in their head, and it's been perfect. So a bit of a skirmish here. Kirsten Sims now sends it back to Wozniewicz. Sarah Wozniewicz circling, passes it back to Caroline Harvey. Harvey with a shot in. It ricochets off of Norden. Here comes Murphy. Murphy sends that one, but it's an errant pass. And Caroline Harvey does a good job putting it back into Minnesota's zone. Minnesota is able to answer, and a big miscue there. And here comes Abby Murphy unopposed. And what a save there by Cami Kronish. Heisey and Comfer facing off. Zumwinkle trying to get a shot off, but Britta Curl does a good job of dissuading that one. Skaya being chased by Bookbinder. A fight on the boards for this puck. Zumwinkle able to get that pass tipped out by LaMontia. Eden passes it over to Comfer. Comfer with 2 Minnesota players chasing her. That's Wethington, that's Ostertag. The fans are not happy right now with the aggression being shown from both teams. A lot of fighting here. LaMontia with a shot, but it gets chipped off of Zumwinkle. Curl now passes it up to Bookbinder. Bookbinder, and a good defensive play made by Ostertag and by Vetter to prevent that pressure there. Zumwinkle now circling around, finding a moment, but a good shot in, and it's saved by Cami Kronish. Wisconsin very fortunate to win that faceoff. That would have been bad for them. Trying their best to clear it from their zone to alleviate some pressure off of Kronish, but they just can't. The hits keep coming. Bouvang circling that net. Bouvang with the shot in, and it's ricocheted off of Kronish. Fans not happy with the contact there between her and Kaiser. Harvey now passes it up to O'Brien, who passes it up, and I don't think Sophie Shirley noticed that for a second, but now she does. Chasing after that one is Sophie Shirley, sending it back to O'Brien. O'Brien to Harvey. Harvey trying to make something happen. Pass back to Bookbinder. I'm sorry, that's Wheeler. Zumwinkle sends that one up. Edwards does a good job keeping that in the zone, and here comes O'Brien. O'Brien circling that net. Loses that puck there, though. Odin for Minnesota sends that one forward. A good job by Wozniewicz to try to keep that in the zone. She can't. And here we go. It's a 2-on-0. Layla Edwards. And an amazing save made again by Skylar Vetter, who has been unstoppable since the first period. Jungles sends that one across to Kutlowski. Kutlowski with the long shot in. Ricochets off of Vetter. Edwards sends it right back to Kutlowski. Kutlowski with the shot. It goes right in the net. Connor now for Minnesota, trying to get this puck out, try to alleviate some pressure on Vetter, but she can't. Here comes Kirsten Sims to Vivian Jungles. Jungles passes it in. And what a save and a shove over, and here we go. Curl.
Looks like Coach Johnson's changed up the forwards lines just a little bit. We have Lacey Eden playing up with Comfer and Curl to see if they can get something going.
Boreen sends that one right of the net. Murphy doing a good job of keeping that puck in Wisconsin's zone, keeping that pressure on Cami Kronish. Huber and Comfer fighting on that board, and there's Murphy, and there's going to be a penalty right there. And it looks like both teams are going to lose them, so here we go. Absolutely. O'Brien and Heisey facing off. Wheeler passes back to Harvey, to Wheeler, to O'Brien. O'Brien trying to make something out of nothing here. Facing off against 3 Golden Gophers here. Zumwinkle fighting along the boards with Harvey. Zumwinkle sends that one around the boards to Wethington. Sends it up to Heisey once again. Taylor Heisey, and a big collision there, and Zumwinkle sends that one just left of the net. So Odin sends that one back into Heisey. Taylor Heisey, some fancy stick work there. Couldn't make it happen, but some really nice stick work there from Taylor Heisey. Zumwinkle loses that puck. Caroline Harvey now, they have an opportunity. Here comes Caroline Harvey. Harvey trying to keep that in Minnesota territory. Can't make it happen. Lacey Eden now. Lamontia chasing that puck. Norton's able to get her stick on it and clear it. Here comes Skaya. Skaya facing off against Sims there on the board. Boreen now facing against Bookbinder. Boreen pass it across to Norton in space. Norton with a shot in, and it's a save by Cami Kronish. Both of them fall to their knees, but here comes Huber. Huber has an opening. Passes it over to Hengler. Hengler with a powerful shot in, and that goes out of play. Hengler now passes this one over. Losing it is Ostertag. Not Ostertag, Withington, but then there's a big collision there in front of the net. And what a sequence of events. Cami Kronish able to keep her composure there. Scary moment there for her. Hengler sends that one towards the net. Good play made by Cami Kronish, and here we go, full strength. Edwards sends that one across immediately for Comfer. But the two, she's tangled up with Ostertag. Abby Murphy loses her footing there. And now Lamontia sends that one across, but Hengler's able to get it. Hengler sends a powerful pass into Wisconsin zone, and a good save made there by Cami Kronish.
Wisconsin coaches were mad. They think that was an offsides call, but they did get a hand pass down in the deep in the Gophers' offensive zone, so the faceoff will come outside.
Minnesota wins that faceoff. Ostertag passes it over to Wethington, sending that around the net, but Lamontia is there to answer. Lamontia sends it up, intended for Layla Edwards, but Minnesota does a good job of nullifying that. Zumwinkle passes it back out. Oh, and a dangerous play there, but Jesse Comfer is able to get away, but it ricochets off a Bookbinder and stays in Wisconsin's zone. Wisconsin's trying their best to get rid of it, but Grace Zumwinkle with a shot there, but it ricochets.
Wisconsin's starting to play desperate hockey, throw the puck around. They're giving a lot of room to Minnesota to make some plays. They're just trying to get that puck out, anything they got, and it's just not quite working out for them right now.
Here we go, Abby Murphy with a shot up and a good save there by Cami Kronish. Deflects off of her. Murphy doing a good job of keeping that in Wisconsin zone. Wisconsin trying so hard to get this out and just get some pressure off of Cami Kronish here, but they can't. Minnesota has been non-stop.
We know that Coach Frost back there is probably telling his players to keep that pressure on. You can see how Minnesota is winning every puck in their offensive zone, and Wisconsin is just really just trying to chip that puck out. They can't really seem to hold on to possession right now.
Falling down right there is Maddie Wheeler. Boreen passes it over to Kaiser. Kaiser working on Jungles, but Jungles is able to keep it away. Good play there by the freshman. Odin now being worked on by the Badgers. O'Brien sends it over, intended for Wozniewicz, but it gets intercepted there. Good play by Lizzie Norton, who has an assist on the day so far. Wozniewicz with the puck now for the Badgers in Minnesota territory. Bit of a back and forth here between both teams. The aggression in both teams is just starting to rise more and more as time goes on in this matchup. Lamontia with a shot forward, but it's intercepted there by Norton. Norton sends it right back into Wisconsin territory, and Minnesota makes a line change. Here comes Natalie Bookbinder, sending that one up, intended for Britta Curl, but it goes right past her. Odin gets her stick on it. Skaya sends it up to Heisey. Heisey trying to send it right back to Skaya, but a good play there by Caroline Harvey. Zumwinkle sending it right back to Skaya. Shot tried by Withington, but a good play there by Britta Curl. And here's a change for Wisconsin now.
Minnesota's going to be hard to beat the way that they're playing right now. Their passes are crisp. They're getting on the right side of the red line and putting it in deep and making Wisconsin really work to get that puck out.
Absolutely. Zumwinkle sends it back in Wisconsin's zone. Taylor Heisey there to answer. Katie Skaya now fighting for that puck with Lacey Eden and Jessie Comfer. Comfer sends it around, and here comes Layla Edwards. Edwards fighting up against Ostertag, and here comes Harvey. Harvey opportunity, and here's a shot. And oh my goodness, there must have been 3 or 4 shots there. Shot after shot after shot after shot. Skylar Vetter has been incredible today so far for Minnesota.
I thought at least one of those was going to go in.
Absolutely, same here. Minnesota doing a good job of preventing Wisconsin. Sophie Shirley now running into the goalie there as Ostertag is able to get that for Minnesota. So a lot of pressure right now on Wisconsin to answer here. They're in Minnesota territory. They need to stick this way and get a goal here. LaMontia shot in, but it ricochets off of Vetter. O'Brien, the bookbinder, slap shot, and it is a save. Great save there by Skylar Vetter. Heisey and O'Brien taking this face-off here. Won by Minnesota, immediately sent around by Ostertag. And here comes Zumwinkle, who already has a goal on the day so far. Sent to Heisey, and a good save made by Cami Kronish. So here we go. Britta Curl passes it back to Jessie Comfer. Chasing that puck around the boards. Eden sends it back, but it's taken away by a Minnesota player. Sending it across. Caroline Harvey now getting it past Zumwinkle. Comfer sending it right back to a Wisconsin player. But here we go. Some pressure on Wisconsin by Minnesota. Boreen. A lot of back and forth here. Harvey sends it to Curl, and here comes the captain. An ovation from the crowd. Hengler now with that puck for Minnesota. Good job by Wheeler to keep that puck in Minnesota territory, but it looks like it might be in vain. Although not. Sophie Shirley to Wheeler, and Maddie Wheeler can't connect. A great opportunity there from Wisconsin, could not connect on it. Bookbinder loses that puck, and a great play made there by Boreen, the captain for Minnesota.
That was a huge turnover. I don't think Maddie Wheeler realized how much time she did have in front of the net. She could have had a campfire out there. I think she had another teammate there as well. She just tried to rush that play just a... Wisconsin
wins this faceoff, sending it right into Minnesota territory, but a great play made there by Heisey. And there we go, a connection there, but it did not come together. Zumwinkle and Skaya looking for a goal there. LaMontia to O'Brien. O'Brien sending it behind the net for Minnesota.
There goes Cami Kronish off to the bench. Wisconsin has 6 players now.
So it's officially an empty net here at LeBon. Minute 27 left. Can Wisconsin capitalize on it? Ostertag sends it around the boards. Britta Curl passing around. Wisconsin has 0 empty net goals this season. And a bad situation here for the Badgers. Bookbinder back, passes it to O'Brien. O'Brien trying to get it out of her zone. Anything it takes here. Casey O'Brien passes it to Comfer. Jessie Comfer to Curl. Britta Curl with a shot forward, and a great save by Skylar Vetter.
Yeah, she fought that off. That was a great shot by Britta Curl.
Absolutely. LaMontia to Comfer. Across to Eden, and Eden can't make it happen. Great save again from, guess who? Skylar Vetter. What a play by the sophomore. For both teams here in an incredible hard-fought matchup here. Face-off is won by Wisconsin. Britta Curl sending it around the boards. Eden over to, I believe, is that Wheeler? She lost it, but here we go. Back in Wisconsin territory goes that puck. Time is ticking. That's an icing. 23 seconds left in this matchup. Wisconsin needs to make something of this faceoff here. Puck is dropped. Here we go. Eden passed around. Curl. Shots and a great scheme there by Minnesota. Harvey passes in to O'Brien. O'Brien loses that puck. Trying to get it. Oh, there's a goal! Britta Curl! A miracle, LeBon! Britta Curl!
That was just a crazy scrum. That was a crazy scrum in front of the net. That puck was bouncing around everywhere. There was desperation. Minnesota players on the floor, and it just kicked right to Britta Curl, who had her head up, saw exactly where that puck dropped, and it landed right on her stick, and she put that right over the blocker side of Vetter.
Oh my goodness, Britta Curl, what a play there by the senior from Bismarck, North Dakota, perfectly reading that play, getting it right past Vetter. This is what the border battle is all about. Face-off won there by Minnesota, and they're going to let some time count down now. And guess what? We're going to some extra time here at LeBon. Let's get ready for some extra time. Very hard-fought face-off there. Wisconsin wins it. LaMontia passes it across to Curl. Back to LaMontia. A big "Let's Go Red" chant erupting from the LeBon Arena crowd. Comfer now. Pass to Curl. Curl passes it across to LaMontia. Facing some pressure from Zumwinkle. LaMontia leaves it for Comfer, who leaves it for Curl. Britta Curl, who had that goal there, sends a shot forward. And Vetter's able to get rid of it and prevent that face-off. A good play by her. Comfer now. Pass it across to LaMontia, who passes it to Comfer.
Just a little bit of a miscommunication there. I think Vetter wanted to get Heisey to get going, but I don't think Heisey quite read it right.
Absolutely. So on comes Caroline Harvey and Lacey Eden. Eden to Harvey. Harvey loses that puck. Wethington now with the puck from Minnesota, hoping to get some time for her team. Eden putting some pressure on Wethington. Here we go. Shift for the Golden Gophers. Boreen comes on. Skaya comes on. Skaya now passes it down to Boreen. Boreen in Wisconsin territory. Some pressure from Casey O'Brien, who is on for the Badgers now. Skaya now looking for her teammates. She gets it off to Odin. O'Brien now with the puck, sending it back to Eden. Lacey Eden passes it across. Pass intended for O'Brien. O'Brien now with that puck down in deep Minnesota territory. Casey O'Brien, the team captain, losing that puck. Cami Kronish going to take that and pass it up to Bookbinder. Bookbinder with an opportunity here. Pass to Shirley. Shirley loses it, and here we go. It's an opportunity, and Abby Murphy, who's shown her speed all game so far, shoots, and a save is made by Cami Kronish. Oh my goodness.
What a save by Cami. This is what makes 3-on-3 overtime so hard, is that those turnovers are the ones that kill you. You're going to be most successful on your rushes and not so much on the in zone time.
Murphy now up at the blue line. Pressure on her from LaMontia, who's playing some good defense here. Murphy circling around, trying to find a moment she likes. Offloads it to Wethington. Wethington losing that puck in a scrum. Here we go. Two players go to the ground here. Murphy passes it to Heisey. Heisey loses the puck. Wheeler. Oh, and an open shot there, and it goes off the post, but Murphy just had an open lane there. Couldn't make the most of it. Murphy now, some pressure on her from Sophie Shirley. Wheeler to LaMontia. LaMontia to Shirley. LaMontia, Shirley, pass it backwards, and here we go. Norden staying in Wisconsin zone. Wisconsin needs to make a break. Here we go. This is the break they wanted. Nicole LaMontia with a shot on goal, and it deflects. LaMontia, a shift now. Curl and Comfer back on for the Badgers. Curl, Britta Curl, passing it over to LaMontia. LaMontia with a shot on goal, and it is blocked by Vetter. Heisey offloads that one. to Norden. Norden passes it up to Heisey. Heisey shooting on the head of Kronish, and a great play. Oh my goodness, saving that with the back, behind the back catch.
See that?
How is that possible? There is no way. There is no way. Fans erupting here at LeBon. Oh my goodness, look at that play again. Watch it a million times. Good Lord. That puck balances on her head. And Kronish, almost like she's a baseball player, just perfectly getting that one behind the back.
Taking that shot, that was a great shot. She almost beat Kronish right over her right shoulder.
Absolutely unbelievable here at LeBon. Wethington trying to offload that to Skaya. Here's an opportunity. Caroline Harvey passes that one up, intended for O'Brien. Can O'Brien get over to it? She can. O'Brien on a break here, being trailed by Skaya. O'Brien slowing down here. Passes it across, intended for Eden. Eden keeps it on her side. Lacey Eden shooting it in. Oh, and an opportunity there. O'Brien loses her stick. Boreen now passing it up. Harvey's able to cut that one off. Casey O'Brien, 1 minute left in this overtime. O'Brien passes it across, intended for Eden. Eden makes a shot on goal, but a good save there by Vetter. Eden keeps some pressure on Minnesota. O'Brien passes it around the boards, intended for Harvey. Harvey keeps that. Eden with some time there, loses it. O'Brien, 36 seconds left. O'Brien takes some time, goes back, and there's going to be a bit of a line change. Here comes Britta Curl again. O'Brien putting some pressure on. A good save made there by Vetter. Harvey now. Harvey with the puck. Caroline Harvey, the freshman from Salem, New Hampshire, passes it across to Britta Curl. Curl passes it across to Comfer. Jesse Comfer with a shot, and it ricochets off of a stick and goes into the crowd. 13 seconds left in this overtime, and it's again, Minnesota wins the faceoff here. Minnesota throws it up, and here's a break by Abby Murphy. Murphy passes it. And wide open, and oh my goodness, what a save, what a play. End of overtime. Oh my goodness, play that one a million times over. Good. Abby Murphy, by far the fastest player on the ice down there today. Just been breaking away so many times, but here we go. Start of the shootout here. Lacey Eden for the Badgers. Approaching the net. And a good save there from Skylar Vetter, team captain. And a good save there by Cami Kronish. Kirsten Sims, the freshman from Plymouth, Michigan. Let's see what she can do. And another good save there by Skylar Vetter, the fifth-year senior from Excelsior, Minnesota. Zumwinkle shoots, but it is no good. Cami Kronish once again putting the stop there for the Badgers, the fifth-year senior, the alternate captain. Slap shot, and it goes north of the net. Murphy, the pivotal player for the Minnesota Golden Gophers today, had a few assists with a goal, and that's going to be it. Abby Murphy scores that shootout goal for Minnesota, puts that one right behind Cami Kronish in the upper right corner, and Minnesota takes this border battle.
It's a great read by Abby Murphy. I mean, you can see from our angle up here, Cami didn't follow her all the way over. She was expecting her to make a move, and before she even moved, she just put it right past her glove side low. It was a great read by Abby.
But overall, what a game we just watched. Absolutely unreal for both teams. Minnesota might have won here today, but both teams have a very, very promising rest of the season.